Kylo Ren, a dark warrior strong with the Force. Kylo Ren commands the First Order missions with a temper as fiery as his unconventional lightsaber. Hello, welcome to Centaurian's Corner, and today we're reviewing Kylo Ren, the new big bad for the millennials of this era for Star Wars, and also the famous grandson in the galaxy, Ben Solo. Now, you could have different opinions on this character. My son is 9 years old, also named Ben, and he absolutely adores this character, literally loves him. For me as an adult, I kind of sort of get a bit frustrated watching him because I expect someone on the esque of Vader, where I expect him to be a little bit more kind of vengeful and very sort of sinister. And he looks that way in this kind of get-up with this mask, got the hood and stuff. But sometimes he's a little bit too human. And I suppose as an adult, that's the side that I kind of get the connection with, because obviously he has feelings and he's sort of, I can see his temperament, you know, but they're kind of still sort of like saying that he seems to be wanting redemption, that he still doesn't want to be bad, but he still does these things for good. But he's killed his dad, he was going to kill his mum, and he just seems so frustrated all the time. Snoke was using him as a puppet. Hux talks to him like a load of and he just lets it all happen. He gets beaten by Rey. Rey just turns around and turns on full sensitive powers straight away. That pushes him aside. He even gets a little bit hit by Finn with a lightsaber. For me, he's got the potential there, but obviously we only got one more film to go, and it's got to explain Kylo Ren, why he's feeling these ways. And it's also got to explain Rey and all the other 9 films. So unfortunately, I'm in a little bit low kind of feelings for the rise of Skywalker, but we never know. It all might come together, hopefully. So here he is, Kylo Ren, in his adaptation of a Black Series 6-inch figure from Force Awakens, and I think, looking at him at first look, I think they've done pretty good. I think straight away he's not a bad figure, and he only comes with his one accessory, which most Jedis do, and that's his lightsaber, which is kind of sort of apparently based on an older design, and obviously sort of reminiscence of the old knights, which he is a Knight of Ren, yet they still need to explain that as well. But it's very much like a broadsword type kind of a lightsaber, and I like it. I liked it when this came out. It was like the different change to Darth Maul, you know, where he had a double lightsaber, and then this guy's got this kind of sort of broadsword kind of thing going on. Yeah, and I like the design. So his hilt here's done pretty nice. We've got these sort of like exhaust points here, and it's kind of burnt away the paint, which goes down to these other little parts here, and we've got this little gold switch or clip with a little red bit at the bottom. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with any sort of peg that fit onto his belt, unfortunately, but I don't remember Kylo Ren ever having the lightsaber on his belt. Correct me if I'm wrong, I always think he's always carrying it for some reason, but the blade, unfortunately, it's kind of like a 50-50, so they got all the sort of like burning kind of looks here, which looks great, but they've connected all the sort of exhaust points down here to make a sort of like a fiery blade at the bottom. I can see why they've done that, because obviously it's to strengthen the blade, but unfortunately I'd rather have it not removable than that, or just chucking another hilt rather than just having this. So I might have a little change around with this. I might get rid of these points here and glue in the rest, but we'll have a see later on. So that was his accessories, and next we'll look at his Poseability. And so we can start off with his head, and he's just a typical Black Series. He can look left and right. He can't really look up and down because he's really hindered with the materials and also the kind of plastic cape. His arm comes up to here. It can do a rotation. He's got a rotation at the elbow, and he's also got an elbow bend which goes up to 90. He's got a rotation at the wrist, and these hinge upwards and downwards, and they're on both hands that it does that. He's got a rotation at the waist, and he's got a slight crunch forward and a little bit back, but it's kind of hindered because underneath all this he's got two lots of things going on, so we have a look at that when we go over his sculpt. He can get his legs out this far, which is not too bad. He's got a upper thigh rotation, he's got a double jointed knee. Oh, there's so much stuff. And then he's got an ankle and a pivot, which, you know, for Black Series, that's the best you can get. If it's anything less than that, the figure is a little bit of an off ski, to be honest. But it's the bare basics that you want from a Black Series figure. So with that, we can go over his sculpt and all his soft goods and everything. And it's done okay. You know, I think these bits here, I've been looking at a few reference pictures, they should sort of finish about here, but for some reason it goes all the way down, and so I might give these a little trim off, just see what it looks like. But he's got his hood, and it's all one piece that goes all the way down, this sort of soft goods. And with capes and plastic, I prefer this kind of look where it's from the top to the bottom. To me, that's 10 times better than having plastic, and then soft goods. I prefer it to go all the way down. And it's not too baggy. Yeah, we got this longer bit down the bottom, but his top here is fine. His hood fits really well as well. It's not too over the top. You know, you can manipulate it a little bit as well. So we can pull back his hood, and then we've got his helmet. And yeah, I mean, again, it's done well. We've got all the scratches and the sculpts in there. We've got the sort of the rib part around his visor. And yeah, it's Kylo Ren. It's just black. You know, there's not much they could really done with it. And then we're going into a sculpt of his cape. And the cape, I think, as well, is again, it's done in the vinyl plastic. And there's no way you could get this kind of look from any type of material. So what they've done there is a really good job. And you can see all the texturing as well in the cape, where it goes all through there, where it's all matted and just where it's been frayed. And that's really well done. You know, this is kind of stuff that if you don't do the reviews, you kind of sort of overlook. You just think, oh, it's just a plastic blob on the back. But no, if you look really carefully, you can just see those texturing and the bobbles, and that's really well done. So underneath that, we got his kind of sort of like a sort of ribbed kind of suit, and that's all there. And then underneath the soft goods, we got this plastic kind of tabard, I guess, kind of robes. But the thing with this, it just doesn't stop at the belt. It goes all the way up as well. So he's got this double lot of material all the way up. So he's got this it's quite a hard. We've had a lot better soft kind of plastic than this. This is quite rigid and it's quite hard. And that goes all the way up his torso as well underneath this. So that's what makes him quite rigid up here on his ab crunch. And of course around his ab crunch as well, he's got this kind of thicker belt, which is kind of always reminiscent to Darth Maul for me. And just underneath all this as well, it's quite plain. It's just black trousers. I'd imagine that he's got quite a plain black torso underneath all this as well. So maybe for customs and all that, if you want a pure black figure, that's just like black clothing would be pretty good. And we go down to his gloss boots, which are nothing really special to look at. Just got a few belt buckles and all that on there, but they're not painted or anything. It's pure black and gloss. So that is Kylo Ren. And so we can see what he gets up to in the next film. But that's my review for him for now. So guys, if you like Kylo Ren and you think he's not too bad, let us know in the comments down below. You can follow me on Instagram, you can subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Whoa, where are you going? So after the review, I just decided I'm going to go off and just quickly have a little go at his cape. And I just trimmed off about this much off the bottom, just to stop that sort of overflap coming down here. And yeah, looking at the reference pictures, it sort of just comes above his boot and it looks better. But I still think this part inside here needs to be trimmed down, because this is what keeps pushing out this part here, and I think once this is completely in, it will look a lot better and it'll hang a lot better as well. And also I quickly just updated his lightsaber, so I just got the scalpel and I just cut off at that angle and then cut off there and just done it as flat as I could, and then using my Tamira extra thin cement, which is this, I just put it together. It's all glued in place, so it would never really sort of come out again, but I'm not really too fussed when it comes to lightsabers. The only thing is, like, if it falls on the floor, which hopefully it won't, because he won't be on the shelf with IG-88. So yeah, so guys, thanks again, I'll see you next time. Bye.